2, 3, 4.
We are Movie Menu Reviews, your spoopy podcast that goes bump in the night.
Spoopy?
On today's menu, we'll be reviewing Jojo Rabbit, and as well as talking about our top horror films for the Halloween season. Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast. Woo! Live on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to podcasts, we also thank you. Joining me today, it's a small crowd. It's just my co-host, Mike Stan.
Woo! Hey, how's it going?
I don't know if you remember. I know you remember, Mike, but if you've ever followed us in our old version of Movie Menu back in the late 2000s, we had the Dan and Mike Show.
We did have the Dan and Mike Show.
The Dan and Mike Show. Dan and Mike Show.
Dan and Mike Show.
Dan and Mike Show. So it's kind of reminiscent of that.
Yes.
Which is pretty nice. Or it's kind of like hell. I don't know. I have not decided yet.
Little both.
But so thank you so much, Mike, for being here.
Otherwise, it'll just be the Dan Show.
Actually, damn it, why did you show up? It could have been just the Dan Show.
That would have been great. There's like no guests, and you're just welcoming just nobody.
Yeah, no, it would be a one-on-one with me and the world.
That sounds like a very intimate show.
It sounds like an amazing show. And I think, audience, let us know if you want that. Because I would not be surprised if you did. Because I just know for the people.
Got it.
On that note, we are going to review Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
So let's take care of that now.
Absolutely.
So the movie reviewing is Jojo Rabbit, written and directed by Taika Waititi. Here is the plot as I am pulling it up. A young boy in Hitler's army finds out his mother is hiding a Jewish girl in their home. And it stars Roman Griffin Davis, Scarlett Johansson, Taika Waititi, Sam Rockwell, Rebel Wilson, Alfie Allen, Thomasin McKenzie, and Archie Yates. All right, Mike. So we both saw this film.
Yes.
So, and we're going to keep it spoiler-free. So depending on our spoiler-free review, we shall decide this movie is worth the dine and watching in theaters, take away to watch it at home, or leftovers. Get yourself blown up by an imaginary friend.
Okay.
So, Mike, there are no points because
I'm not a guest.
Because you're not a guest. So let's go ahead and rate this film.
Okay. So for me, it's a dine-in.
I am also going to give it a dine-in. I think when this movie was announced, originally, the concept of making an imaginary friend who was Hitler was very controversial when it was being developed. I remember a lot of people were scared of this film because of the tone of the film and where they were going. But after watching it, I think that Taika did such a great job with the sensitivity of the film.
It's funny because I remember reading in a social media post that Taika Waititi was saying, I did zero research for playing Hitler or something.
as one should.
Well,
he's a complete asshole.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this film, like, it isn't really Hitler anyways. It's just the imaginary friend, so it really doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, I agree that he was he did approach it sensitively, and this film has a lot of heart for a comedy, and which is one of the reasons why
Well,
it's a
it's
dine-in
also
for me.
like a very heavy, sensitive topic because it deals with this. It deals with Jojo, who is highly Nazi supporter. He believes that he himself is a Nazi and that he will grow up and serve Hitler, and then he will be given the world because of his Aryan Brotherhood. And it turns out that his mother, this is not a spoiler, was housing a Jewish girl to protect her. And so I feel like that itself, if you were to explain that to someone, you'd be like, how is that a comedy? But Taika does such a great job with it.
Yeah, he does.
It's kind of mind-boggling to describe this film, but yet know that there is humor or elements of humor in there that are really hysterical. And it's almost like I'm watching, and it's almost like the characters and the adults are treated like Wes Anderson characters as adults. Okay. Because the adults, specifically like the Nazi adults, which I'm sure it was intended, obviously, because the adults are Nazis, are really dumb.
Yeah, I mean they're all quirky in their own way, for sure.
Definitely. And I feel like this film is really grounded with the performance of Jojo, who does such a great job. And I'm putting up that Roman Griffin Davis, who plays Jojo. He is incredible in this movie.
Yeah, he does an amazing job, and I think you're right that I guess the other characters are so wacky that and I think with the exception of the friend, who also kind of is like the voice of reason in this as well.
But he's kind of silly as well. But yes,
yeah. I think the friend is like the most grown up out of everybody.
Yeah, he is. and it's funny because he looks like. Because he's wearing glasses, he looks like he's more adult than the adults themselves.
Yeah.
Like I could picture him with a little briefcase walking around.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And he, I believe his name is Archie Yates.
Yeah, Archie Yates.
And yeah, he's actually not in the film as much as I thought he'd be based on the trailers.
Yeah, same here.
But it's fun. It's fun to see the interaction on screen between him and Jojo, and a lot more screen time is spent between Jojo and Elsa, which as it should, and I think they spend the perfect amount of time and allowing that plot line to develop, and which makes it more impactful as the film goes on. So.
But also, the film does a great job with the pacing of it because you get to know who Jojo is as a fanatic of Hitler, where he embodies the imagination of Hitler, or not the imagination of Hitler, but he creates the embodiment of Hitler in his imagination, is what I meant to say. And Taika, who plays Hitler, does such a funny job becoming who this person would be in a child's eye.
Yeah, that's a good represent. Yeah.
And the thing is, as an audience, you never really, or for myself, I never questioned why, is Jojo mentally off, or why is he having this imaginary friend? It's just something that you accept in this world. I know. Did you question it?
No, I mean it kind of reminded me of like Drop Dead Fred a little bit. I don't know if you had the same, if it was the same vibe for you, except I
mean, I can see that.
Yeah, but it was interesting, and it's hard to be honest. I didn't like how the story arc for the imaginary Hitler ended, but I can't say any more without giving spoiler. But I agree with you that it is as you said, the child's perspective of how Hitler would act and think if he was a 10-year-old boy in an adult body, pretty much. So.
I also really enjoyed the relationship between Scarlett Johansson and the mom and Jojo's character, and that was such a really nice thing to see, because there is a lot of heart there. There's you see the relationship because the mother, who is a person who saved the Jewish girl, knowing her son is a fanatic and calls him a fanatic of the Nazis, of Hitler. That dynamic, though, how she can accept her son for who he is, but also try to show him the world in a beautiful way. I really like that relationship dynamic as well between them. Did you?
Yeah, absolutely. And Scarlett Johansson definitely hammed it up more than expected, which it was fun to see. It looked like she was having fun with the character as well. So, but yeah, absolutely. The relationship, the love between mother and son was definitely felt throughout the film, and just like humor aside, there's like a lot of heart there as well, which I think gives more weight to the film for sure.
And then the side characters were fun to watch as well, like Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
So he ends up being like a not a camp counselor in the sense, but
yeah,
but like kind of like a camp counselor,
yeah,
but a Nazi camp counselor.
He's a Nazi camp
where
counselor.
He takes care of the kids and whatnot.
It's as great as it sounds. He does a great job.
Alfie Allen, who you may remember from Game of Thrones, he plays Sam Rockwell's assistant. And that relationship there was pretty funny because it's all undertones and stuff, but it's great to watch. And then Rebel Wilson was fun to watch as well, as the bumbling female Nazi.
yeah. They're all like in this world, like a lot of these characters are goofy. I think it's in the film it's hard to find like a grounded character, maybe other than like Elsa.
Maybe Elsa.
Yeah, maybe Elsa's probably the most grounded out of all of them. Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
Jojo is kind of grounded as well in the sense like we are going through this story through his eyes.
Yeah.
But so it's an interesting balance where we have two people who are in opposing positions, and then by getting to know each other, trying to find some common ground, but still trying to believe in their own things.
Yeah.
Which that's all I'll say about that for now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was such a nice, heartfelt film.
Yes.
A lot more than you would think with Hitler in it.
Yeah. Yeah, which is
Taika's MO. Like he talk about his directing. How did you appreciate his writing and directing, I would say?
I think it's consistent with the humor of his other films. Like if you've seen Hunt for the Wilder People, it's totally like it totally has a similar feel in terms of humor, and I thought he did a great job with it. Even the the visual effects with it were great. I felt like the tone was locked in from beginning to end, I think, as well.
It was. It really, really was. And also, Jojo Rabbit, the film, is based on a novel by Christine Lunens.
Yes.
And I feel like this... I haven't read the novel, but I feel like... or Primordial Soup, I think is Caging Skies is the name of the book that's based on Jojo Rabbit. And I feel like people are pleased with this adaptation.
That's good.
From what I've heard. So
yeah.
Let us know if you read Caging Skies, did you enjoy the movie?
Yes.
And you watched it. Any other thoughts, Mike, that you wanted to get into?
I enjoyed and you see it. You see glimpses of it in the trailer, like that. There's going to be some heartfelt moments, and it's fulfilling. And
you know what? I would honestly, even though it is quirky, it does have humor, and it is a funny film. They earn the moments of drama and the moments of sadness, and there are moments where you might tear up or even cry in this film. So I guess I also don't want to say like, oh, it's all funny humor. There are moments that are earned that catch you off guard with the serious tone as well, because there are some serious stuff that goes on. It was during World War II, and a lot of terrible stuff happened there, and they don't shy away from it. There are moments where they're walking on the streets and you see things that is horrible, and it grounds the film again, and it does a good job where it's showing the humor, and then out of nowhere you get this serious moment, and then it happens every so often. And I would actually recommend taking some tissue with you just in case. If you are a crier in this film, you might just cry.
Yeah, I would definitely say, even though it has those more serious moments, I would definitely say it definitely leans way more on the comedy side, though. So, but it has enough of those moments.
How dare you, Mike?
But like Dan said,
those serious moments are earned, I think.
Yeah, they are. I'm not saying they aren't, but not to think that there's like, there's not a whole lot of it, but there's just enough of it for it to.
Right. What I mean is, like, those serious moments are impactful. Like,
they are.
It's not like a small little like just a slap in the face, which it does happen, a slap in the face. But no, it's like something really like terrible happens that you see, or something that's it's not just a tiny serious moment. It's like something that's like, wow.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of them in there, but they are in there. Just be aware.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Dan said, take tissue just in case.
Yeah.
So, but
especially if you take your mom to go see the film, because she might want tissue. Not me.
I'm not crying.
I didn't cry. So we say dine in.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
Jojo.
Dine in.
Another knockout for Taika Waititi. That son of a bitch. She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you. And let's go ahead and move on to our Halloween picks.
Movie menu.
So since Halloween is coming up, we wanted to give out our recommended horror films, or I guess horror films, because I think some of my films have horror comedies in it.
Oh, cool.
And it's all through streaming services, so it's all you can watch it if you have like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. These films are accessible to you, and so. We did this last year. We thought it was fun, so we'll do it again this year. Mike, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So number 3 is going to be it's the original. I don't know if you guys had seen the Quarantine film, but it's actually a remake of the Spanish film Rec, which is a fun it's a fun found footage zombie film that I enjoyed. I think it's like, if you like need a zombie fix and you're tired of The Walking Dead and you're tired of everything else that's out there, then I'd recommend giving it a try. I believe it's from Spain. It's called Rec, REC. So and then you can find that on Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice. And I'm going to, for my number 3, is this movie on Netflix that just came out not that long ago. It's new. It's called Rattlesnake, and it's an interesting story. It's a single mother who, as they're driving, the car gets a flat tire, and the daughter goes out and gets bit by a rattlesnake, and she ends up finding this like trailer. When she goes to the trailer to get some help, this woman is like, okay, I'll take care of the daughter. We'll discuss payment later. And it ends up helping the daughter, but in turn, this becomes a supernatural film where she now owes a soul because they saved the daughter's soul. So it's this whole journey now that the mother has to go to see if she can take a soul for her daughter. So it's very interesting. It makes you think, like, what would you do if you were in that situation? Hopefully supernatural stuff isn't real, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the supernatural aspect of it was really cool, and it's on Netflix, so I recommend to go watch it.
It sounds super fun, Dan.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So
since Z's not here,
you
want to do Z's pick? Because he did send us his pick, even though he's not here.
Yeah. So I got Z's list right here. So Z's number 3 is Autopsy of Jane Doe. So I don't know if you've seen that yet, but it asks the question, what if a dead body is haunted? And that's the premise, and it's fantastic. So and as the film continues to unravel, it continues to get more and more intense. I definitely recommend checking it out. So
nice. Autopsy of Jane Doe. Where can it be found?
And that
Netflix?
can be found on Netflix. Yes.
Okay, cool. And what's your number 2, Mike?
So my number 2 would be Attack the Block.
Oh, nice.
So which is a fun. I don't know if you would even.
It's more sci-fi.
It is more sci-fi, yeah.
But there's some. I mean, those aliens are kind of scary looking.
I mean, there's some gore in it. So I guess it could it goes back and forth in the line of sci-fi and horror maybe, but it's all mixed in with comedy, and I believe Nick Frost is in it as well. It's basically about aliens that land in this
like because I've seen it as well, like this
so yeah, aliens land in this neighborhood somewhere in England where like the police aren't really gonna go to. So the kids in the neighborhood, they have to fend for themselves, and they're like these like hoodlum kids that are like
it's like the projects kind of, right?
Yeah. In
the aspect of like in London or
yes,
they're
exactly. And so they band together to defend themselves against these aliens which look like gigantic bears, and it's super fun to watch. I recommend it.
Nice. My number 2 pick is a film that you can find on Hulu, and it's not to be confused with the Fred Savage movie, but there's a new version that came out this year, but that is accessible on Hulu, called Little Monsters, and it stars Lupita Nyong'o and Josh Gad, and it's basically it's a slow burn at first because you learn about this kid and his family, and then Lupita Nyong'o plays the teacher, and so it's a really, like, I would say the first sight of zombie is probably not within the first 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow.
So maybe not that long, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So it's a kind of a slow burn, but once the zombie apocalypse happens, or somewhat of the zombie apocalypse happens, Lupita Nyong'o is such a badass in this film, and it's a comedy as well. There's funny moments.
Oh, really?
Josh Gad plays this like kids TV star who ends up becoming like such a despicable person in real life. in the real life, and it was fun. It was a fun watch, and I recommend it. So I think you should go check it out if you like zombie films. And Lupita again she does such a great job. She should be like in everything. She's fun to watch. And then Josh Gad is such an asshole. It's fun. And it's like I was watching it and with some friends, and we were like, I wonder if these kids know he's the voice of Olaf, because he's such a dick in this film. But yeah, it was a fun watch.
Okay.
What's Z's number 2?
So Z's number 2 is The Ritual. So it can be found on Netflix. So I've never seen The Ritual, but I'll read you guys the plot line. So it's a group of college friends reunite.
Oh, it's in a pyramid, right?
For a trip to the forest, but encounter a menacing presence in the woods that's stalking them. So I guess it's college kids in the woods horror film. So which I haven't seen. So we would need pick Z's brain to find out more about that one. So my number 1 is I would call it a classic, which is
I don't know what it is, but if you would have got a classic, I'm worried.
So
hold on quick. We haven't looked at each other's lists other than Z's, obviously, but I don't know Mike's, and I don't think Mike knows mine.
Yeah. So this film was released in 1992. It's recently been added.
Wow, 1992.
Yeah, so it's recently been added to Netflix, so you can stream it, which is Candyman.
Oh.
So if you have not seen that, I think I think
Tony Todd is great.
Tony Todd, yes. The first time I saw Tony Todd was in the director Tom Savini. He did a remake of Night of the Living Dead, and then
Oh yeah. I like that version too, even though it has a more happier ending than the original.
I wouldn't say happier. I would say like less dark.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
a happy ending is like someone gets shot in the head or something. like
the zombies.
Yeah, a character. I won't ruin it for you if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, shut up, Mike.
Yeah.
Even though those they came out in the 80s, that they were in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Which is none. I think it was
The
like
remake.
I think it was early 90s.
I think so
if I'm
too.
not mistaken. But so Candyman is kind of like a play on kind of
Bloody Mary.
Kind of exactly. It's just like Bloody Mary, where if you look in a mirror and you say Candyman three times, this paranormal entity named
stalk you.
Candyman he'll come
kill you.
out and he'll murder you. And like people play this game and there's someone trying to do research on these murders that are happening in the city, which is constantly being attributed to this Candyman figure. So, and it's the way it unfolds. It's like this psychological horror, as Dad had mentioned, starring Tony Todd,
Which Jordan Peele is going to executive produce the remake. So that should be fun to watch. And
Absolutely.
I think Tony Todd, he's not coming back as Candyman. I don't believe. But I know that he is going to have some type of cameo of a part.
That's great.
In the remake of it, or the continuation of it. I don't remember where they're going with it. But either way, if Jordan Peele is behind it, I'm totally stoked for that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Likewise. Oh yeah. So the Night of the Living Dead, that remake was 1990.
Oh, okay.
1990.
So my number one pick is a movie that's even older than yours, Mike. It's from 1987. And this movie is on Amazon Prime, and I was surprised that it was there because it's for me, it's a classic, even though it's still cheesy or the effects are cheesy and the problems are like not that great, but it still holds close to my heart. Is The Gate?
Yes.
Which starts Steven Dorff.
Great. That's the hand. The first time you've seen the hand with an eyeball.
With an eyeball, yeah. And he cuts it with the glass. Spoiler alert. So the kids are left home alone, and there's this tree that when they tear it down, it ends up becoming the gates to hell. And all this crazy stuff happens while they're home alone. And it was, I remember watching it as a kid and watching it as an adult and still loving it either way. And it has some scary moments in it. Like there's a moment with a dog that I'm just going to say is pretty scary. And there's some little demons in there that are pretty cool.
Right. The claymation demons, right?
Yeah.
And they catch them in the jar.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that as like a little kid, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. And there are some moments in there that are really, it's cheesy. The ending is kind of cheesy of how everything happens, but the film itself was a lot of fun to watch, and highly recommend it. And that's on Amazon Prime. All
right, that sounds great. I haven't seen that film in years. I think I'm gonna go back to watch it for sure. So Z's number one is called Under the Shadow,
and
I don't
know that one.
And I have not seen that one yet either. But I'll go ahead and read the plot line. So it's as a mother and daughter struggle to cope with the terrors of the post-revolution, war-torn Tehran of the 1980s, a mysterious evil begins to haunt their home. So, and I believe that can be found on Netflix as well as YouTube and Amazon Prime as well. So, and Vudu. So that's Z's number one film. So
nice. So, let us know what you think. What are some of your favorite Halloween film or horror films to watch during Halloween season? We would love to hear your comments. And thank you, Mike.
Yeah, and before we finish, I don't want to snub him. The lead actor in Attack the Block is John Boyega. Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Oh.
But
I knew that.
Yeah, I know.
Said, who's the lead? I'm like, it's John Boyega from Star Wars.
Yeah. I totally forgot to mention it. So I just had to say that before we close it out. So.
Oh, Mike.
They might not know.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome
for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Z, for not being here.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm Dan the Man, and we say dine in for Jojo Rabbit. It's a very, very well done film. And definitely will get Oscar attention, and definitely will get awards attention. So watch it as soon as you can because it's going to be talked about a lot, and you don't want it to be spoiled for you. And then Halloween Pics as well. Let us know if you enjoy them, if you watch them. And we would love to hear from you. And you could do so by commenting on this video, commenting on Facebook, following us on social media on Facebook.com/Movie Menu Podcast, or Instagram, Movie Menu Podcast, or Twitter, MM Podcast, or our website, MovieMenuPodcast.com, which you can find all our social media on there as well, and our YouTube channel. And so we are everywhere. So subscribe to us on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. You cannot get rid of us. Yeah, and you can follow us on on our website or social media or stuff to listen to special events and stuff that we do. So, we hope that you will be around more and not be so gone.
Why are you so distant?
We're really nice, I swear.
Come play with us.
And on that, and we'll be back with on your episode next week of Movie Menu Reviews. Thank you,
thank you, Dan,
and goodbye.
See you guys later.
3, 4. Movie menu.